All right, so the first thing I wanted to cover today is 4.11. Okay, 4.11 has been coming out, and um, a a few features that's coming in. Some of them are really exciting. I think right now they have one that's out that's released to all backers right now, and it's very close, right? So it's very close to going live. The intent is for this thing to go live before the 15th. The 15th is when Invictus starts, so by the 14th is a hard deadline for this thing to go live. So, but what I anticipate is we will be getting some new ships, and we've already been teased with start with the Starland, so we're gonna look into that in a bit. But we also been teased of some new ships that we're yet to see, at least in its physicalized format in the game, right? So we're gonna look into that stuff as we go into this. Okay, so with 4.11, they're having they're at the end of the testing cycle for it. It should go live anytime from now, between now and by the 14th. And some of the things that they're bringing in are really exciting, right? So one of the ones that I really like is ship battles, right? Ship battle missions. V1, it says patrol, ambush, and Gilly's advanced combat gauntlet mission. So I tried these, right? The patrol and ambush. I tried them a few earlier on when this thing dropped into the PTU. Was really interesting. What it does is it takes you to new locations that they've added into the PU, both in Stanton and in Pyro. And what it does is it allows you to either patrol various sites. If you're doing a patrol, you're jumping to various sites from the initial location and just patrolling the area. Sometimes you go there, there's no NPCs. Sometimes you go there, there is an NPC, but they're a civilian, and you have to like protect them from hostile NPCs. And then, so you go to various sites, and then you patrol it. Once you've completed them, then that's the end of the mission. And the ambush version is you go there. This is both for legal and illegal, so everybody gets to participate in these kinds of missions. The ambush missions, I did try it. It was really interesting, where they would ask you to go to one of the new Astro locations. You would then be tasked to go to a certain location to hide and to turn off your ship. This way, you cannot be detected. And then after a timer runs out, an NPC that you're meant to ambush will be spawned in, and then you'll be tasked to turn on your ship and then go and take it out. So it's really interesting. It's different. It's I like it. And Gilly's advanced combat missions, I believe it's about a total of 8 of them, I think, and it becomes more difficult from each stage that you do it, right? There's, I think, yeah, 8 or could be 9. It's either 7, 8, or 9 missions in total, and they're going to be initially available, I think, right away, or you might have to do it in an initial one first before you get access to all of them. But I think when I was in the PTU, it was available right away. And the way that works is, depending on the mission you take, there's different various scenarios where they're going to be testing you, right? So the first one is very simple: take out a small ship. But there was one where I had to take out a stealth ship, and the stealth ship that they used was a Firebird, and the Firebird was so deadly, right? I had to be within 1,000 to even detect them. And when they spawn in, they're starting off with missiles. So it's no joke, man. They took me out right away, and it was quite interesting how that went. So also there's also various ones. So it scales up, right? I think it goes all the way up to a Polaris, where you have to take out a Polaris. So it's not even single ship. I think you're gonna need a crew to be able to take on the harder ones. So it's really interesting, really interesting. Tigger Looker, what's going on? I would think going live earlier will be better, so that they can start fixing the stuff they break. I strongly agree. I hope sometime this week. How much time we got until the 14th? Let's see. 14th will be not this week, but next week, Thursday. I hope they drop it this week. This way they have the weekend as well as a few days into the following week for them to fix any issues after it goes live. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to allow us to see some of the new ships and test some of the new ships. Starlance Attack, I think they're going to put them in the halls and get either Evo or us to just rent it and test it out. And they're going to go through the various days. I'm not sure if they're going to do that just to keep the surprise, but usually they put the ships out, the new ships out into the PTU and give it to probably Evo or just a few people to access the ships and test it out first, because I would want them to test it out and make sure there's no bugs associated to the ships, the new ones that are coming in. So it's possible this week or early next week we may see some of the new ships in the halls for us to actually check out. And yeah, it's really exciting. Some of the ships that they did talk about was Starlance Attack. We're going to cover that shortly. There's going to be some new ones that's coming in. There's good. I think what I thought a few days ago was going to be the Anvil Asgard. A lot of people is indicating that it could be the Legionnaire. The Legionnaire could be coming in, which is going to be a surprise because I thought hacking was going to be coming in with the Legionnaire. So does that mean we're going to be seeing hacking? We don't see any elements of hacking in the PTU right now. So how is that going to work, right? And if there is, we're going to need to test it before it goes live, right? So I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what they do. But I believe 2 or 3 new ships is going to be coming out. We might get a concept, which is probably going to be the Anvil Asgard, which we anticipate. We might see the Anvil Paladin. You might. And there's also going to be a new Grey Cat vehicle that's also going to be coming out. So that's going to be interesting. The TAC is going to be nice. Yes, it is. I think the TAC is going to be a beast. If the TAC is going to be a beast, if they make it tanky. But we'll talk about that shortly. I hope they drop it this week too, as there is a lot of bug fixes. I noticed that the sound in the hangar has been fixed. That was one of my pet peeves. Yeah, it was really annoying when it came out. Is the Asgard not the Legionnaire? Spicy, you think so? It would, you know what? I would believe it's the Asgard more because we don't see any elements of hacking gameplay. And I think they said they want to release ships with their associated gameplay, right? So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get. So handyman missions, which is really interesting. Yesterday, where I did me and my org mates, we did an org event in Pyro, and one of our org mates was doing a handyman mission inside of a station or obituary. I think he was tasked to move a box from one side of the station to another, which was really interesting. So I like those kind of missions because it enables you to do like zero to hero scenarios. It makes it more viable to do zero to hero scenarios, which I'm keen to doing very soon. I don't think it's the Legionnaire. It looks like they are focusing on support type ships. Last year it was a lot of attack ships. Good point. Good point. So if it's going to be a support type ship, then the Asgard is support because it's a carrier, right? We'll have to see, man. It could be completely different ship, to be quite honest. We could be off completely. Animal missions is back. PvP bounties is back. I believe they took PvP bounties out a few patches ago. I don't know what the reason was, but they did. Hunt the Polaris mission. I haven't seen that, but I heard about it, and it seems like it's interesting. What I hope is they allow us to board the Polaris and fight the NPCs on the inside and possibly find some cool loot inside of the Polaris, since the Polaris is going to be it's going to be very deadly, right? With its torpedoes, it's going to be so deadly. So yeah, so we have to deal with that. UAE training missions, I thought that was Gilly's advanced combat gauntlet missions, but this could be completely different. The UAE training missions, fleet recalls, 7-hour rotations in the PTU, okay, and with Kilo's new mission. So what I heard is right now, right, when the release 4.1, they put out the Karenites, the items that we needed to get the rewards for Rakello was all like gated behind the Hadar locations, right? And the Hadar locations are just dominated by groups, larger groups and orcs, right? So if you're a solo, it's really difficult for you to go there and participate and to be able to compete for the Karenites and the rare ores that Rakello essentially needs for the rewards that you want, right? So with 4.11, we're going to see more PvE missions that give you the materials that would allow you to get the Rakello rewards. So, which is really interesting. Really excited about that. This way, you don't have to always have to be involved with PvP in order to participate in that. But I think CIG initially did that so that they could see us fight over it and see how the servers behave, which did happen because we've gotten into a few fleet battles against other orgs and it was really fun. So excited for stuff like that. That is essentially it. Right now, the latest patch right now for 4.11, they've increased the risk zones for armistice around Area 18 and the convention, which makes sense because I know somebody used a rock geo, not the rock geo, but the geo, the Atlas. It jumped from their ship and landed at the site. So what? That is not good. Gameplay, enabled killed animal missions and ships and vehicles. They greatly increased the Polaris held turret ammo. I believe the main gun for the Polaris now has, I think up to like 900. I think 900. So right now, before it was 300, now it's going to be 900, which is really good. Really good. It doesn't seem like they're going to give us reloadable ammo yet. So them buffing this is really good. Okay, so but I anticipate when they allow for reloadable ammo for ships, for ballistic ammo, they would nerf that back down so that you get the 300, you have to reload it, and there'll be a time, right? Which will play into the engineering gameplay and all that. Okay, so that's exciting.